All right, everybody. So today we're going to be like actually taking a deep dive into,
Okay.
yeah, like slowing down. You know how everybody's always like, go, go, go.
Right.
Well, this is like the opposite of that.
Yeah.
So we're looking at this idea like slow down, life is long.
Yeah, it's interesting.
So it's kind of like a paradox
It is.
because like we're always told to like, be faster, do more.
More.
Yeah, more. But so what's up with this whole like slowing down thing? What do we even mean by that?
Well, it's interesting because I think one of the things that it brings up for me is this idea of like presence,
Okay.
like actually being where you are, instead of constantly thinking about the next thing.
Right, like being in the moment
Exactly.
instead of like 3 steps ahead.
Yeah, exactly. And it's hard because our minds are, we're wired to think about the future, to plan, to anticipate.
Right.
But that can also keep us from really savoring what's right in front of us.
Right. So how do we like actually do that? Because like, okay, yeah, being present, that sounds great in theory, but like how do we actually like make that happen in our lives?
Yeah. Right.
Especially when, like you said, like we're kind of wired to be like thinking about the next thing.
Yeah. And, we live in a world that really encourages that.
Oh yeah, always connected.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it takes a conscious effort.
Okay.
It's like building a muscle
Okay.
that maybe we haven't used very much.
Mm-hmm.
But there's some simple things we can do.
Like what?
Well, how about just starting with like 5 minutes in the morning?
Okay.
Just 5 minutes where you sit quietly.
Okay.
Maybe have a cup of coffee or tea.
And like no phone.
No phone.
No screens.
No screens.
Okay.
Just be present with yourself.
Okay, so 5 minutes in the morning, that's like doable,
Totally.
right?
Well, and then throughout the day,
Yeah.
see if you can find these little pockets of time where you can just kind of slow down and be present.
Oh.
Like maybe when you're walking from your car to the office.
Instead of checking email.
Exactly.
Okay.
Or even just like when you're eating lunch.
Oh, yeah.
Like really taste your food.
Yeah, actually be present with your lunch.
Exactly.
And like not just like scarf it down while you're like doing 5 other things.
Right. It's like we've forgotten how to just be.
And like enjoy it.
Yeah.
This is really making me think about that whole idea of life is long.
Right.
Like maybe if we slow down a little,
yeah.
it will actually feel longer.
It might, because we'll be more present for it.
That's a really interesting way to think about it.
Yeah. And the funny thing is when we slow down and we're more present, we actually often end up being more productive anyway.
Really?
Yeah, because we're not rushing through things.
Oh, that's interesting.
Making careless mistakes.
Yeah, we're like more focused.
Exactly.
That's pretty cool.
And, I think another really important part of slowing down is remembering to be kind to ourselves.
Okay.
We don't have to be perfect at it.
It's not like another thing to stress about.
Right. Exactly.
Right. Okay.
It's a practice.
Yeah.
And like any practice, some days are going to be easier than others.
That's a good point.
Some days you're going to be more present than others, and that's okay.
So just like being cool with like not being perfect at it.
Exactly.
Okay.
Give yourself some grace.
All right.
And just keep coming back to that intention to slow down.
This has been really eye-opening for me.
Yeah.
I think this whole idea of like slowing down and being present, it's so important in our like crazy busy world.
Yes.
And it's something that like I'm definitely going to be thinking about a lot more now.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
And you know what? I hope our listeners maybe will too.
Yeah. Maybe this is something you could like try today, just like for 5 minutes.
Yeah, just 5 minutes, see what happens.
It's 5 minutes in a long life, right?
Exactly. You might be surprised at what you discover.
That's a great point to end on. Thanks for this awesome deep dive.
Of course. Thanks for having me.
And to all our listeners out there, remember, slow down. Life is long.
Yeah, take a breath.
We'll see you next time.